Hi guys, Josh here from Sportitude, and today we're doing a shoe review and it is on the Saucony Endorphin Speed. This shoe here is a cracking new release for the Saucony brand. Obviously off of the back of the very successful Endorphin Pro, being August 1 here in Australia in 2020, this little shoe is going to be launched and there is a lot to like about this shoe here. Some familiar characteristics with the Pro, however potentially might be more runnable, depending on the runner out there of course. So in today's review, what we're going to do is we're going to cover off the outsole, the midsole, the upper. We're going to compare it in regards to the Pro, just show you some of the subtle build changes from one to the other, and give you all the information at home that may give you the tools to potentially throw this into your shoe rotation. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. With all my shoe reviews, we start with the ground and we work our way up. So with the outsole of this shoe, it's very similar to the Pro, and I've actually got a women's Pro here in front of me from one of our staff members that kind of gave it to me, so please excuse the dirtiness of the outsole. So what we've got going on here is, to the naked eye, you'd probably say that's the same shoe, Josh, just different colours. And you're absolutely spot on. The outsole is built exactly the same. All that's different is the colour of the rubber underneath through there. So what they've done is essentially put a little bit of higher wearing rubber in those high impact areas. So if your heel strike is back through here, and that first lateral part of the heel is a little bit harder wearing. As you're coming through to the forefoot, it's got, regards to the outsole, it's not overly flexible of course, because essentially the control of flexibility is done in the midsole through here, which we'll get to in 2 ticks. But the outsole in this shoe is all about protecting the asset, and the asset of this shoe is the midsole. So the Power Run PB midsole is a very soft but also very responsive foam. So the outsole's job is to keep that asset very protected, and that's exactly what they've done with the Speed and also with the Pro through there. Moving right on to the midsole through here. So you have got the exact same foam technology as you do in the Endorphin Pro. So we're talking the Power Run PB foam, which is that very soft responsive foam that Saucony have engineered through here, and also the exact same heel to toe drop, which is here 8mm in the same stack height. So again, on paper it looks very, very similar to the Pro. The only real change in the midsole is the nylon plate, which runs from the heel to the forefoot. Same positioning as the plate in the Pro, however this is a carbon plate through there. So you've got your nylon plate to your carbon plate, and if you're sitting there wanting to know the actual differences between both of them, the carbon plate is a little bit stiffer, okay? So it's got a wee bit more strength, structure and integrity to it, and therefore being a bit stiffer, it obviously gives a little bit more propulsive assistance as well. So the nylon plate is still a nice sort of stiff concept by all means, but it's not as light and not as stiffness explosive as the carbon plate. Now, if you're a runner that's potentially looking to entertain a super shoe, now we're talking your Next Sense, we're talking your Pros, Fuel Cell TCs, Hyperion Elite, Asics Meta Racer, there is a number of shoes out there and I've probably forgotten 1 or 2, I'm sorry. But if you're thinking about getting yourself into a carbon plate shoe and you may not have the budget for that, I certainly think this is a great introduction for that concept of running footwear, because it's still got that nice stiff plate and it gives it that aid and assistance in propulsion. It's just going to not hurt your back pocket quite as much. So the nylon plate does a great job in this shoe. I really like how it ran for me personally. Moving on to the upper. So it's got to have a little bit of differentiation from the Endorphin Pro. So again, the carbon plate, we've talked about that, but up top, there's a little bit more support in and around your heel. So the heel counter, what Saucony have done through here is engineer an internal heel counter at the back. So you get a little bit more structure and integrity around the back of your heel. You still can utilize that last lace here for that lockdown as well to give you a bit more structure and support, but the internal heel counter is on play. So you can certainly see the difference if I just push my finger through there and I'll hold the Pro up through here and I'll do the same. You go whiz bang, there we go, disappears. So you're having no heel counter at the back of the Pro reduces the weight, but if you're thinking about that, the runner who's going to be thinking of getting a Pro, it's a race day shoe, it's your potentially your interval shoe, but you're going to have pretty good sustainable form. So you're going to be okay in a shoe that's sort of sacrificing a bit of support to get that weight reduction. Where this shoe here is going to offer a little bit more support around the top of the shoe, top of your foot, which I kind of like. And I kind of like it because it's going to aid a lot of runners out there that just need a little bit more support in their race day or their tempo interval shoe. Coming through to the upper in the mid part of the shoe and the forefoot. So essentially got an engineered mesh, not too dissimilar to the Pro, however it's a little bit more structured. So it's hard to tell to the naked eye, but the Pro upper is lighter and thinner. The Speed upper is a little bit thicker, which then in turn offers a fraction more support up top. So it's obviously just complementing what they're doing with the heel counter as you come through to the midfoot and the forefoot. A little bit more support on top of the midsole is what they're aiming to achieve with this shoe through here. Talking all things widths as well, because that's very, very important. Essentially, we're just talking standard width. So you've got a B width in the ladies and you've got a D width in the men. So just the standard widths on offer there. Just touched on it before, but there is a subtle variance with the weight. Now, I can only tell you from the men's sample I've got at home. So my men's size 9 was in and around, the Pro was in and around 213 grams, and my Speed was in and around 223 grams. So that's my scales, and we're talking 10 gram difference between Speed and Pro. That is not a lot at all. So again, if you talk about the subtle changes within the shoe, that's the heel counter and that's the nylon plate versus the carbon plate. Subtle adjustment in the weight through there. Profiling this shoe, I really do think this is going to be a fantastic shoe for Saucony and a fantastic shoe for the runners out there that's looking for that really light, really propulsive feel, but don't want to hurt their back pocket too much. I really do think this is going to be a very, very runnable, lightweight shoe. So there you have it, guys. That is my take on the Endorphin Speed. I really like what this shoe's doing. It's nice and light, very cushioned, but very responsive. And who knows, it could be a shoe that you could be considering at home. Now, if you have ran in this shoe or you tried it on, I'd love to know your feedback. So just drop a comment in the comment section below. And also give us some feedback on what you thought of the Endorphin Pro. Because my previous review, I got a bit hyped up about this shoe because I really, really like it in comparison to the other super shoes out there. But yeah, loving what you're doing, Saucony. Keep it up. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, guys, please do so. Hit the red button down below. If you've got any questions, comments, queries about the running shoe industry, please let us know down below. And until next time, happy running, stay safe, and we will see you soon. Take care.